All right, so welcome to the deep dive, everybody. Today, we're really excited to be doing a deep dive on a unique breed of cat and
Yep.
the American Bobtail. You know, a lot of us know like Siamese cats, Persian cats, but the American Bobtail is kind of this hidden gem, a cat that's, got these incredible characteristics. So,
Yeah, they really do challenge the
yeah.
stereotype of what a cat should be.
And that's kind of what got me really intrigued about this. I mean, this whole idea of a cat being called the golden retriever of
Yeah.
felines. I mean, that's a headline that you've got to just investigate further. I mean,
Absolutely. And it's not just a catchy phrase. I mean, their personalities really do live up to that hype.
okay, so let's start with the obvious. The bobtail. Is it just, like a cute little quirk, or is there more to it?
Well, it's definitely their signature trait. I mean, that's for sure. Their tails range from 1 to 4 inches long, which is about a third of the length of a typical cat's tail. But here's the interesting part. No two bobtails are exactly alike. Some
Yeah.
are straight, some have kinks, some have bumps.
Wow.
It's like their own little genetic fingerprint.
Mm.
And it actually affects their movement in some really subtle ways.
So it's not just aesthetics, it's functional too.
Exactly. That shorter tail actually changes their center of gravity,
Yeah.
making them incredibly agile and balanced.
Mm.
You can kind of see it in the way they move, almost like a tightly coiled spring.
That's fascinating. I never even thought about it like that. Wow.
Yeah,
So that one small difference can have such a huge impact on, how they exist in the world.
for sure. And that's just the beginning. Their whole appearance has this like wild, untamed look that really sets them apart.
I've seen pictures. Yeah, they definitely don't have that like perfectly groomed,
Right.
show cat vibe.
And there's a reason for that. The American Bobtail actually developed naturally from feral cats.
Oh, okay.
So their look is a result of, adapting to their environment and not selective breeding by humans. They come in both short and long hair varieties, and you can find them in practically every color and pattern imaginable.
So like a true celebration of natural beauty and
Yeah.
diversity. But for my allergy sufferers out there, are we out of luck?
Unfortunately, yes. They are heavy shedders, and they're not considered hypoallergenic.
Okay, so maybe not the best choice for everyone, but for those who can handle a bit of fluff, let's get into what really sets them apart, their
Yeah.
personality. Is it true they are like little mini golden retrievers?
I mean, well, picture this. A cat that greets you at the door,
Okay.
wags its bobtail when it's happy, and maybe even fetches a toy.
Okay.
These are all, classic American Bobtail behaviors.
Wow.
They're known for being incredibly affectionate, playful, and eager to please, just like their canine counterparts.
I gotta admit, that's really endearing.
Yeah.
What drives this dog-like behavior?
I think it's a few things. They form incredibly strong bonds with their humans and have this boundless energy that needs an outlet. They're not the type of cat that's content to just lounge around all day.
So more of like an active companion than a lap cat.
I mean, they love to cuddle, don't get me wrong, but they need plenty of mental and physical
Yes.
stimulation to be happy. In fact, one expert compared their energy level to that of a healthy young beagle.
Wow, that's a lot of energy for a cat.
Yes. Yeah.
So what kind of activities would keep them happy?
Think interactive games, puzzle toys, even leash training.
Wait, hold on.
Yeah,
Leash training a cat.
that's right. You can actually take these cats for walks.
That's a new one.
I know, it's amazing.
So is it really possible?
It is. Their intelligence and their eagerness to please make them very highly trainable.
Okay.
They learn quickly, especially with, when positive reinforcement is involved.
That's amazing. So we've got a cat that's playful, affectionate, trainable, but what about their history?
Yeah.
Where did this unique breed come from?
Their story is actually fascinating. It all started back in the 1960s with those feral bobtailed cats we talked about.
Okay.
A couple was on vacation in Arizona,
Mm-hmm.
and they came across one. They were completely smitten. They decided to bring him home
Wow.
to Iowa and breed him with their own cat.
Okay.
And that's how the intentional breeding of the American Bobtail began.
So a chance encounter sparked a whole new breed.
Yes, pretty much.
That's pretty cool. And they weren't using other pedigree breeds in that mix, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
The American Bobtail's lineage is purely domestic,
Okay.
and that's actually contributed to their robust health
Mhm.
and distinctive look.
Mhm.
They weren't actually recognized by the Cat Fanciers Association until 2000,
Oh, wow.
making them a relatively new breed on the scene.
So I'm learning so much already. Okay, so they've got the looks, they've got the personality, they've got the history, but how do they measure up in the health department?
They're actually a very healthy breed. They have a lifespan of 13 to 15 years,
Oh.
which is partly due to that natural development that we talked about.
Oh.
But like any breed, there are a few things to be aware of.
Okay, let's talk about that.
All right. So one thing is that they can be prone to obesity.
Okay.
So it's really important to keep them active
Yeah,
and feed them a healthy diet.
makes sense.
Dental disease is another common issue.
Okay.
So regular teeth brushing
Oh, boy.
is a must. And then we also need to mention hip dysplasia and spinal conditions,
Okay.
which can sometimes occur, particularly in those tailless rumpies.
Rumpies. Now, that's what you call the ones that are born with no tail at all.
That's right. They're quite rare.
Wow.
But, they do exist, and those potential health concerns are definitely something to consider
Yeah.
if you're thinking about getting a rumpy. Responsible breeding practices
Of course.
and regular vet checkups are always important.
Yeah, absolutely. It's amazing how much we're uncovering about this breed, and I feel like we've only just scratched the surface.
There's definitely much more to explore.
Well, let's take a short pause here.
Okay.
And then we'll come back to discuss if the American Bobtail might be the right fit for now. Don't go anywhere, cat lovers. We'll be right back. Okay, and we're back. We're diving deeper into this world of the American Bobtail. I don't know about you, but I'm already starting to, picture one of these playful kitties, curled up on the couch with me, maybe bringing me a slipper.
It's easy to get swept up in their charm.
Yeah.
But, before you go, running to your nearest adoption website,
Yeah.
let's take a minute to consider if this breed really is the right fit for your lifestyle.
Yeah, that's a really good point. As much as I love this idea of, leash training a cat, I realize that their unique needs might not be a good fit for everyone.
Exactly. And we've talked about, their intelligence, their energy levels, their need for attention.
Right.
Are you prepared to provide that?
Right. So someone who's looking for a low maintenance cat who's happy just, napping in sunbeams might want to reconsider.
Yeah, American Bobtails, they really thrive on interaction and play.
Okay.
They need mental stimulation and a good amount of physical activity
Gotcha.
to really be content.
Now, what about apartment dwellers? Would an American Bobtail be happy in a smaller space?
Well, they're adaptable.
Okay.
So it's not impossible, but
Yeah.
you'd really want to make sure that they have, plenty of vertical space
Oh, okay.
for climbing and exploring.
Yeah.
Remember those powerful hind legs?
Yeah.
They can jump pretty high.
So invest in a good cat tree.
Yes, exactly.
And maybe some well-placed shelves.
Exactly. Create an environment where they can,
Yeah.
expend that energy and indulge that curious nature.
Right. Even without a backyard to roam.
Right.
Okay. Good advice. Now, we've talked a lot about, their personality.
But what about their appearance?
Yeah.
Are there specific breed standards when it comes to, to looks?
It's interesting. The American Bobtail breed standard actually focuses more on temperament
Okay.
and overall health than a strict cookie cutter appearance. Remember, they're a relatively new breed,
Right.
and their development has really been about celebrating their natural diversity.
So there's a lot of variation
There is, absolutely.
within the breed.
And that's part of their charm. You'll see, a huge range of coat colors,
Okay.
patterns, even tail length.
Yeah.
Each cat is truly unique.
I love that. That's really cool. It's like each one has their own personality just shining through,
Right.
even in their appearance. But practically speaking, if I decide that an American Bobtail is the cat for me, where do I even start looking?
Well, since they are a rarer breed,
Yeah.
you might not find them as readily available.
In shelters as some other more common cats.
Right. So a spontaneous trip to the local shelter might not be the best strategy.
You could get lucky, but be prepared to do some research.
Yeah.
And possibly wait for the right cat to come along.
Hmm.
A good place to start is the Cat Fanciers Association website.
Okay.
They have a ton of information on the breed, and they can provide referrals to reputable breeders
Okay.
in your area.
Okay. So contacting breeders is really the way to go.
Mm-hmm.
What should I be looking for in a good breeder?
Ask a lot of questions.
Okay.
A responsible breeder will be, transparent about their
Mhm.
practices. They'll be happy to share information about, the kitten's lineage,
Okay.
health history, personality. They should really be focused on the well-being of their cats.
Right, not just making a profit.
Exactly. Exactly.
So it's about finding a breeder who's passionate about the breed
Yes.
and genuinely cares for the cats.
It's a little bit like matchmaking.
Okay.
You're looking for the perfect match
Yeah.
for your lifestyle and your personality, and a good breeder will help guide you
Right.
through that process.
That makes sense. Now, I gotta ask, since we're talking about a rarer breed,
Hmm.
should I be prepared to pay like a higher adoption fee?
It's true that American Bobtails tend to be
Okay.
more expensive than some other breeds.
Okay.
You're probably looking at a range of, roughly $600 to $1,200
Wow.
for a kitten
Okay.
from a reputable breeder.
That's quite an investment.
It is.
What factors influence that price?
Things like, the breeder's reputation,
Okay.
the kitten's lineage,
Mhm.
and even coat color or pattern
Oh,
that
yeah.
can play a role.
So if I've got my heart set on a specific look,
Yeah,
I might need to be prepared to pay a bit more.
possibly. But remember, the most important thing is finding
Yeah.
a healthy, well-adjusted kitten
Of course.
from a breeder who
Wow.
prioritizes ethical practices.
Right.
That initial cost is just one part
Right.
of cat ownership.
Right. There's food, vet care, toys, litter,
Exactly.
all those ongoing expenses.
Yeah, being financially prepared is crucial.
Mm-hmm.
But beyond finances, it's about being ready
Yeah.
for the commitment
That's
that
about,
comes with any pet.
of course.
Are you really prepared to provide the love,
Yeah.
the care, the attention
Right.
that an American Bobtail needs to thrive?
That's a question every potential owner needs to ask themselves for sure. But all this talk about, their playful nature and their dog-like qualities has got me thinking.
Uh-huh.
I mean, are there other cat breeds out there
Oh.
that might surprise us with their unique personalities?
The feline world is full of hidden gems. In fact,
Wait, hold that thought. I think that's a perfect cliffhanger to leave our listeners with. We've covered so much today,
Yeah.
learning about the American Bobtails' unique looks, their playful personalities, their fascinating history,
Yeah.
even the practicalities
Right.
of bringing one into your life. But the world of cats is vast and full of surprises,
It is.
and we want to leave you with something to ponder.
Indeed.
What other cat breeds might challenge your assumptions and defy stereotypes?
A great question.
We'll be back soon to explore more of those feline mysteries.
Yes.
But until then, happy cat venturing.
Blah.
And we're back for our final deep dive into the American Bobtail. I'm excited to wrap up this conversation and see what final gems we can uncover about these incredible cats.
Me too. They really are just a fascinating breed. There's so much to appreciate.
I feel like I've already learned so much, but let's do a quick recap for our listeners. Just in case they missed anything along the way,
Sounds great.
where should we start?
Well, I think the logical place is the bobtail, right?
Mhm. Makes sense. So we learned that it's more than just a cute little quirk, right?
Exactly. It affects their agility, their balance,
Yeah.
and the fact that no two tails are alike
Right.
really adds to their unique appeal.
It's like a little signature.
Yeah.
And then, of course, we talked about their appearance, that kind of wild, rugged look, with all those different coat colors and patterns and lengths.
And those stunning eyes, right?
Oh, yeah, those beautiful deep-set eyes.
Adds to their mystique.
Oh, definitely. And then we really dove deep into their personality.
Yeah, the golden retriever of cats.
That's right. And we heard from experts about their strong bonds with humans, their need for mental and physical stimulation, even comparing them to a beagle puppy in terms of energy.
A lot of energy.
A lot of energy. And speaking of activity, who could forget about the possibility of leash training?
Yeah, that's always a fun one to bring up.
Yeah, I never would imagine leash training a cat before this.
I know, it's amazing.
Uh.
But they're so intelligent and eager to please, it makes sense.
And we also explored their history, tracing them back to those natural bobtailed cats in Arizona. It's such an interesting story.
It is, and to think that even though they have such a long history, they're actually a relatively new recognized breed.
Yeah, the Cat Fanciers Association didn't recognize them until 2000.
Exactly.
Wow, it's just amazing how much we've learned. And we even talked about health considerations, right? The importance of a healthy diet to prevent obesity, dental care, and potential hip or spinal conditions, especially in those tailless rumpies.
Mm-hmm. Always good to be informed.
Absolutely.
Hmm.
But of course, we have to end on a positive note. I mean, who can forget those adorable bobtail wags when they're happy?
Oh, it's just the cutest thing.
It really is. But I think one of the biggest takeaways for me and hopefully for our listeners is that these cats really do shatter that stereotype of what a cat should be.
I completely agree. They're not aloof or solitary. They're affectionate, they want to play,
Yeah.
and they really do form those deep bonds with their humans.
Yeah, they show us that the feline world is so much more diverse and complex than we often realize.
For sure. So if you're listening and thinking, hey, maybe an American Bobtail is the cat for me, what's the next step?
Well, I think the first thing is to really ask yourself, am I prepared for a cat with this much energy? A cat that needs as much attention as a dog?
Yeah.
That's a big commitment.
It is.
Yeah.
And can you provide that mental and physical stimulation? That's really key.
Definitely. And if the answer to those questions is yes, then it's time to do your research. We've talked about the Cat Fanciers Association.
Yeah, a great resource.
They can connect you with those reputable breeders who can answer all your questions and help you find the perfect match.
And remember, responsible breeders, they're going to be passionate about their cats. They'll
Yeah.
be transparent, happy to answer questions, and will prioritize the cat's well-being above all else.
Yeah, take your time, ask questions, and find that perfect fit. Bringing a pet into your life is a big decision.
It really is.
Yeah.
But when you find that right match, it's just, it's the most rewarding experience.
So true. But as we wrap up our deep dive into the world of the American Bobtail, I want to leave our listeners with this final thought. There's a whole world of cats out there.
There is. And they all have their own unique charms.
So keep exploring, keep learning, and you might just be surprised by what you discover.
Well, that's all the time we have for today.
It's been a pleasure.
Thanks for joining us on this incredible journey. Until next time, happy cat venturing, everybody.